in recent months, not only Germany has been affected by the pandemic and prolonged lockdowns, but also India has recorded numerous new infections and one of the highest incidence rates around the world. What is the current assessment of the corona situation in India?
Well, as of today, the situation in India for pandemic is under control. To quote you from the statistics available on the media, we added 24,000 new cases day before yesterday. But having said, in May and June, we were running in a couple of hundreds of thousands. So from there, coming down to 24,000 is a good sign. And we are doing all we can do. I hope and I expect these numbers to go down, and probably the situation would be good. The only dampening factor can be we are a huge population of 1.37 billion. Our vaccination rate is not coping up with the size of our population. As of now, as per published figures, about 10% of our population is vaccinated. That's the only concern I can see. Otherwise, I do not see any major reason why this number should not come down.
All right. So, as already mentioned, the corona pandemic has not only had a strong impact on society, but also on the publishing and newspaper industry. Can you look back to 2020 in India when the spread of the virus began?
Sure. First of all, I would like to share some background which is unique to India, especially Indian newspaper publishing industry, which you may not find elsewhere in the world, meaning the business model for newspapers in India. First of all, unlike Germany, here the newspaper is delivered by the vendor at home or at anybody's address at about 6 in the morning. For a copy price, you probably will not believe me, it's less than 5 cents or 5 cents, euro cents for a newspaper delivered at home as an average price. So there is a very unique position. Where do they make money? The Indian business module for the newspaper is to make money in advertisements, which turns to revenue, which turns to business conditions. Where you asked me the question, I'm coming to that. If the industry in general is doing good, newspapers get their revenue. If the industry is not good, doing good, the newspapers don't get revenue. So there is what it started affecting the revenue of the newspapers from March 2020. We were hit very badly. For one reason, there were no advertisements by the business and the industry. Two, for some reason, there was a big rumor in India that the newspaper, the physical newspaper, was contaminating or spreading the pandemic or the disease. Therefore, people stopped buying newspapers. And in bigger cities like Mumbai and Delhi, people don't live in individual houses, they live in apartment blocks. Now, the apartment blocks, as a rule, stopped delivery of newspaper. To answer your question again, the delivery of newspapers stopped, the advertisement stopped. So that had a major impact on the newspapers in this country, where the revenues went down even up to 40-50% of their normal revenues.
All right. And what is the current situation of our industry in India? Can we say that the issue has eased again in 2021?
As you must have been informed that the corona situation in India went bad again from February this year till almost May, June this year, where we achieved a highest rate of more than 350,000 cases a day. And there were a large number of deaths. Everything was shut down. So again, it has had an impact on the economy. Having said, I see some numbers coming from taxation authorities, some numbers from newspapers, and I have also referred to an article recently I read in the media. The numbers are very encouraging for July, just last month. That means the corona has been down and economy is bouncing back. If the corona doesn't affect us again, I see this from here onwards, the numbers will go up and up. Also, in the Indian industry, the best period for newspapers advertisement is from August to December. So I'm sitting today in August, almost end of August, which is, as India is a huge country and each area has its own celebrations, some local festivals have started, which will peak at what we call Diwali and Christmas this year. So I expect these numbers to go up unless Corona plays a spoiled sport. I
And
see only positive numbers from here.
And now that we've talked in general terms about the corona pandemic in India and the impact on our industry, what trends are currently visible among the publishing and newspaper industry, and which topics are now in the focus of publishers and newspapers?
Thank you. When we were got caught with Corona, and mind you, the print newspaper or the print industry here still is in large and huge numbers in India. Therefore, the digital formed only a minuscule or a small or very minor portion of the total revenue or the total readability. The moment Corona hit, owing to the physical limitations, owing to other limitations, for months and months, newspapers were not printed. We, as a country, were not equipped or not fully ready to go into automation, to go into digital. It impacted. Having said, I've been talking to a cross section of people, including all segments of newspapers and the owners, the IT managers, the business managers, the advertisement managers. Their one single task was to somehow keep the wheel spinning and moving towards digital step by step. They were not geared up, they were not ready, unlike in Europe or in the US, where digital has taken a lead for about 10 years. Here, the revenues on the digital before Corona was less than 2%. I have no numbers as of today how much digital is gone, but only thing is I can tell you it is moving up and up. The aim, the goal, the focus which you asked today is to somehow maintain a balance between the print and digital and open the doors for digital technology so that if there is any emergency, any pandemic, any other situation, the newspapers can come out, whether physical or digital. The idea is to have one database which can publish to all kinds of mediums, be it traditional print medium or the digital medium. The thrust will be on digital, but the bread and butter still comes from print. You asked me how I visualize. So a coexistence will exist, what I see at least for 10 years. I do not see the digital overtaking the print numbers over or going beyond the print numbers, not in the foreseeable future. Both will coexist. Print at the moment will have a major share, more than 50%. How and when digital will fully take over, I have a feeling it could take anywhere between 10 to 20 years. There is another aspect, very interesting aspect. As per Government of India's figures, the literacy rate in India is about 70%, 70. But if you look at the population of India, it's said to be 1.37 billion. Now, 30% of 1.37 billion is a huge number. I have a feeling, therefore, the newspapers will continue to grow even for that 30% because it will be a huge number. You may like to ask me, once they're educated, why can't they go digital? The question is the level of economy or the level of per capita income may not allow them to buy digital devices, a computer, a fully smartphone. Having a phone is different, having a smartphone and having a stable internet. Internet is still in the early stages of India. Our bandwidth is still dependent. So coming back to your question straight, I see a good future of 10 plus years for the print medium and digital will start making inroads day by day. But to cross over the numbers of printing, I think it could take safely around 10, 15 years. That's my assessment.
And at the end of our conversation, do you have anything more to add in conclusion?
Well, in comparison to the other parts of the world, including China, which at one time had big print numbers, I think India is still in a strong position as regard the print medium is concerned. There was a data come out, and this is not for India, this came for book publishing, which is a similar field. Just a couple of weeks ago, I think it was in The Economist. The numbers on printed books was still higher than the e-books. And because of the peculiar situation in India, which I've discussed with you, I am of firm belief the print medium will continue to rule at least between 1 to 2 decades, which is about 20 years from now. That's my assessment.
All right. So thank you very much for the interview and your time, Hemant. It was very interesting. And yeah, I wish you all the best. See you soon.
Thank you very much again for your time and giving me this opportunity. All the best with your new endeavors. Good luck and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.